Hello and welcome to the English Conversations podcast, the place to be if you want to improve your English skills and your life at the same time. I'm Moo.
And I'm Rick. We're so glad you could join us today. It feels like a fresh start, a perfect time for new beginnings.
It really is. And speaking of fresh starts, we are kicking off a brand new series today that I am so excited about. It absolutely is. There's a certain energy in the air that makes you want to turn a new page, doesn't there? Whether it's the start of a new year, a new season, or just a new week, there's always an opportunity to reflect and reset. Let's delve into some practical strategies for making the most of these moments. For instance, have you ever tried the fresh start effect? Studies show that we are more likely to make positive changes at the beginning of a new time period, like a week, month, or year. It's like our mental accounting resets. We can leverage this by intentionally setting new goals at these natural transition points. What's a small change you've been wanting to make, Rick?
That's right. We're going to be diving into an 11-part series of lessons from the brilliant James Clear, the author of the mega bestseller Atomic Habits.
Whether you've read the book or this is your first time hearing about it, these lessons are simple, powerful, and absolutely perfect for our goal of practicing English while learning valuable life skills.
So let's jump in. Today's topic is Lesson 1, How to Choose a Habit That Sticks. And Clear starts with a very bold statement. He writes, "The most important decision you will make is what habit to build."
Wow, not how to build it or how to be consistent, but what habit to choose in the first place. That's a very different starting point than I'm used to.
Isn't it? He says, pick the right habit and progress is easy. Pick the wrong habit and life is a struggle. He even argues that working on the right habit is much more important than working really hard.
That's fascinating. This reminds me of when I first decided I wanted to start running. I was so focused on the outcome, on running a 5K race, that I absolutely hated every single training run. It just felt like a punishment.
Right. So you were working hard, but it was a struggle because the habit itself felt wrong. You were pushing a huge rock up the wrong hill.
Exactly. I wasn't enjoying the process of becoming a runner. I just wanted the medal at the end. The effort was there, but the direction was off. So how do we find the right habit? How do we find the right hill to climb?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. Clear points out the common mistake we all make. We naturally start by thinking about the outcomes we want to achieve. That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The wrong hill is often the one society tells us to climb. We see a successful outcome, someone else's fit body, their thriving business, their perfect-looking family, and we decide we want that outcome too. So we start climbing their hill. But our internal motivation, our own personal why, isn't there. We're essentially borrowing someone else's dream, and that's why it feels so heavy.
Right, like I want to lose 10 pounds, or I want to get a promotion, or I want to stop smoking. That's how I've always set goals.
Those are all outcome-based goals. And they're not bad, but he suggests a more powerful alternative, building what he calls identity-based habits.
Identity-based habits. Okay, let's break that down for our listeners. What does that mean?
It means that instead of focusing on what we want to achieve, we start by focusing on who we wish to become. The word identity is key here. It means who you believe you are, your fundamental character.
Oh, that is a huge mental shift. So it's not, I want to lose weight, it's more like, I want to become a healthy person?
Exactly. That's the core idea. He says that improvements are only temporary until they become part of who you are.
That makes so much sense. Anyone can convince themselves to go to the gym once or twice, but if you don't start shifting your belief and seeing yourself as an active person, it's always going to feel like a chore. It will never stick.
Precisely. He gives some great examples of this. For instance, the goal is not to get straight A's in a class.
The goal is to become a person who studies every day, a good student.
Right. And the goal is not just to finish one painting.
It's to become an artist. Wow, that one really hits home for me. It takes away the pressure of creating a masterpiece and just gives you permission to be a creative person. And what do creative people do? They create.
It reframes the entire process. And this leads to what he calls intrinsic motivation. For our listeners, intrinsic means coming from inside you. It's not for an external reward like money or praise. You do it because it's part of who you are. It feels good and natural.
I see. So it's the difference between saying, I'm the type of person who wants this, and saying, I'm the type of person who is this. That second one feels so much more solid and powerful.
It's a declaration, a statement of fact about yourself. But this brings up a big question. If our identity is so important, where does it come from? Are we just born a certain way?
That's what I was wondering. It can feel like some people are just naturally athletic or studious.
And this is the most empowering part of the lesson. Clear says, to a large degree, your identity emerges out of your habits.
Wait, so it's a loop? Our habits build our identity, and then our identity makes it easier to keep doing the habits?
You got it. It's a self-improvement feedback loop. Think of it like rolling a snowball down a hill. The first push is the hardest. That's your first action. But as it rolls, it picks up more snow, more evidence, and gets bigger and faster. Soon, the identity, the giant snowball, has its own momentum.
I love that analogy, and it leads to my absolute favorite quote from the book. I have it written down right here. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become.
It's so good, isn't it? It makes every small choice feel meaningful.
Right. Choosing water over soda isn't just about avoiding sugar. It's a vote for, I am a healthy person. Putting even just $10 into a savings account isn't about the amount, it's a vote for, I am financially responsible.
Each habit is like a suggestion. Hey, maybe this is who I am. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity.
And it kind of reframes failure, too. If you miss a day at the gym, you didn't fail. You just cast a vote for the other side for one day. But tomorrow is a new election. You can get right back to casting votes for the person you want to be.
That's a great way to look at it. Eventually, when your behavior and identity are fully aligned, you are no longer pursuing change. You are simply acting like the type of person you already believe yourself to be.
Okay, Rick, this is all fantastic in theory, but let's make it super practical for our listeners. How do we apply this to our lives today?
All right, here's the first step from the lesson. Stop and think about your desired identity. Ask yourself this question. Who is the type of person that could get the outcome I want?
Okay, let's do a role play. Here's a common goal for our listeners. I want to be more confident speaking English.
Perfect. So, the outcome is confidence. What's the identity? Who is the type of person who is confident in English?
Well, simply, they are an English speaker. Not a perfect English speaker, just an English speaker.
I love that. It's simple and achievable. So, what would an English speaker do? What are their habits?
They would listen to podcasts like this one. They would try to read one page of a book in English each day. They would practice speaking, even if it's just for 5 minutes with a friend. They would use the language.
There you go. Those are your habits. Each one is a small, easy vote for the identity of I am an English speaker. The confidence you want is simply the byproduct of proving to yourself, vote by vote, that you are that person.
This has been so insightful. It feels like I've been looking at habits completely backwards this whole time.
I think many of us have. The key takeaway from this first lesson is simple but profound. Start by focusing on who you want to become, not what you want to achieve.
And be patient with yourself. It's a gradual process. You won't notice a change from one day to the next.
Exactly. But with each repetition, with each vote you cast for that new identity, your internal story begins to shift. And that's where real, lasting change happens.
What a fantastic way to start our series. So, for our listeners, here's a little homework. Grab a pen and paper this week. Write down an outcome you want. Then, right next to it, write down the identity of the person who could achieve that.
And under that identity, list 3 small actions, 3 votes you can cast this week. That's it for this episode of the English Conversations podcast.